What if I told you you don't need to pay Leica prices to get Leica quality results? If you answered no way, my goal today is to prove you wrong. Because in this video, I will be uncovering two of film photography's best kept secrets. Rangefinders that tend to fly under the hype radar but perform like its more expensive counterparts. And the best part is, they're not only attainable, but cost less than $200. Would you believe me now?
One of the most common misconceptions when getting into film photography is that you need to spend an arm and a leg to get into the rangefinder system. And that is simply not true, folks. In fact, today I'm going to be showing you guys two affordable rangefinder cameras, both under $250, that sometimes can outperform some of the models that are 5 or 6 times the price point. All right, so the two cameras that I'm going to be showing you guys real quick, pan down over here, are first of all the Olympus XA. Now, this is a camera that I've spoken tons about on this channel, but it's been years since I've actually went around and shot with it and featured it in a video. And then the first one we're going to be talking about here is the Konica S2. This is the Auto S2. And this camera is extremely special for a couple of different reasons. First and foremost, you can get this camera literally under $100. It's a fully mechanical camera, although it does take some batteries on the bottom, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, but the battery is only going to operate the light meter. Now, both of these cameras here have fixed lenses. The XA has a 35mm 2.8 lens, and the Konica Auto S2 here has a 45mm 1.8 lens. So the film we're going to be shooting with today is going to be Kodak Ultramax 400. Keep it simple, and I think it's perfect for all the different color we're going to be capturing at the board.
Now, while I load up both cameras, there are a few things that I want to mention. First, I am not comparing the two cameras because both are equally amazing in their own ways with slight differences. So be sure to listen in to figure out which one fits your shooting style the best. And secondly, the images you're going to be seeing today are not edited. These are all straight from the lab so you can see the full quality firsthand.
So one of the main differences between both of these cameras, apart from the size, is that this requires a battery to shoot and this one doesn't. And there's a ton of other rangefinder cameras that I could have mentioned, but I feel like these two are pretty much going to cover everything you need in terms of a beginner rangefinder. Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is like the West Coast version of Coney Island, just not as cool, I feel like. Now, as we make these images, I want you guys to take a closer look at just the focal length difference. This one is going to be a 45mm, and this one here is going to be a 35. So you're going to get a 10mm focal length difference. The XA, of course, is going to be slightly wider. You also get a few limitations with the XA. First one is that it's a 2.8 max aperture lens, whereas the Konica has a f1.8 max lens. So better in low light with this camera here. The 2.8 though, still very solid.
Now, if we take a closer look at some of these images, both cameras produce extremely sharp results. The color rendering from these lenses almost give off a vintage, nostalgic kind of character to them. Now, this isn't by chance, and you'd be surprised to hear that the reason why I'm able to get such good results out of these cameras are not actually because of the cameras themselves.
But I'm gonna let you guys in on a huge secret here. The best way to get the best results from any film camera, whether that be a rangefinder or SLR, is for two different things. First and foremost is to nail your exposure. Now, in order to nail your exposure, you need a camera that's going to figure it out for you, like the XA, or if you're shooting a mechanical camera like this, you might need to possibly get an external light meter. In this case, I don't know if you guys see me kind of going around here. I've been using my phone. There are tons of free light meter apps that pretty much can allow you to go out and shoot with it. But number two, the second most important thing to get the best possible results on film is to utilize a professional film developing lab. And this brings us into the sponsor for this episode, which are the good folks over at the Darkroom Lab. The Darkroom Lab is a traditional dip and dunk lab that specializes in C41, E6 slide film, true black and white, as well as single-use disposable cameras.
Now, in addition to developing pretty much every format under the sun, the Darkroom Lab also has a mobile app that allows you to place orders on the fly, view, download, archive, and even order photographic prints. And the best part is they even offer a free prepaid film mailer so you can send your film in from anywhere, which makes developing film super convenient and easy. Among the many labs out there, the Darkroom has been my choice for efficiency as well as consistent quality results. So check out the Darkroom Lab and download their mobile app today and start developing your film with confidence.
Now, I love both of these cameras, but if I were to pick one, honestly, I'm leaning more towards the XA because of the size. Full rangefinder, 35mm, 2.8 lens. Stick it in your pocket and forget about it. This camera right here, I wouldn't say it's exactly, the same feeling that you get with a Leica, but it's very similar. The focusing tab here on the bottom is on the left side. It's a very short throw as well, which means you can focus really quick. And it's not a super heavy camera by any means. Actually, while we wait for that, oh, never mind. We're in business. All right, let's do it.
Now, really quick, I wanted to touch on something that is extremely important when considering older rangefinder cameras. Now, a lot of these older rangefinder cameras use batteries that are not currently in production anymore. This is something you need to consider before purchasing any rangefinder film camera. Does it take a battery? And also, is that battery currently in production? Luckily though, the Konica Auto S2 takes a PX625 and the Olympus XA takes an Energizer 357 battery, which are both currently in production.
Do some street here. A little bit of street photography. In the second half of this video, I'm just going to go home and talk a little bit more about these cameras, but just from the results that you're seeing so far from the shooting portion here, what do you guys think of these cameras? Which one do you like better? And if you were to go for one, which one would you take? Comment down below.
So now we answer the big question, and that is, are these budget rangefinders as good as the more expensive cameras? Well, the truth is, almost. Now, I have been very fortunate to be able to shoot with many rangefinders from the past, and these two, along with the Canon QL17 G3, are pretty comparable in terms of image quality when compared to more expensive rangefinders. I would still say the more expensive cameras have a slighter edge in the image quality department, mainly because you get to switch lenses, and lenses are really what's going to determine how sharp an image is. But what it really comes down to is how you use the camera. If you are nailing exposures, you're shooting in the right light and have good subject matter, on top of that you're going to a quality film lab to get your film developed, you should have no issues with any of these rangefinders. Granted, they do come with a set of limitations such as a fixed lens, aperture priority, and also the use of batteries in some cases, but as long as you're okay with that, the Konica Auto S2 and the Olympus XA are fantastic entry-level rangefinders that are not only capable of creating beautiful work, but also are pretty inexpensive. I had a fantastic time shooting both of these cameras, and if you are in the market for a budget rangefinder, I highly recommend you start with these two. But now we've reached the part of the video where I hand the mic over to you and get your thoughts on these rangefinders. What did you think of the results? Is there one you prefer more than the other? Also, are there any other entry-level rangefinders that should have been mentioned? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. But for now, thank you for watching. And if you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button down below. I'll see you in the next episode. As always, Minolta Gang.
Gorgeous.